Everyone, welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage on this Sunday, July 21st, 2024, and we are already halfway through the season of summer as summer began in the middle of June, and we are in the middle of July now, so definitely are already halfway through the season of summer. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over heat across the west, cooler temperatures settling in across the central and eastern U.S., rain chances going through the rest of the weekend this upcoming week and also into early August, and your tropical weather update at the very end of the video. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video down below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you get the latest weather information right here at your fingertips. Also leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. So what you are currently looking at here is your weather alerts across the lower 48 here. We have a lot of heat headlines across the western U.S. In the oranges, those are heat advisories. In the purples, those are excessive heat warnings, even some red flag warnings across the Pacific Northwest in combination with the excessive heat and the dry soil up there, creating some higher fire weather concerns across portions of Washington State and Oregon as well. We also have flood watches that persist from New Mexico into southeastern Colorado with some moisture, and heat advisories continue for southern Florida as well. Here's what we're looking at. This is the geopotential height. This shows you where we have a ridge of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That is across the western U.S. A little dip in the jet stream here. That is our trough across the central and eastern two-thirds of the country, bringing in that nice, cool, and refreshing Canadian air mass from the north. And looking at the high temperatures this afternoon across the west, we have a lot of 90s and triple digits out there from the Pacific Northwest all the way down into the Pacific Southwest, even Western Canada here into British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, seeing a lot of those 90s today as well. Look at the central and eastern U.S. temperatures here into the 70s and 80s with some 90s down here into Florida. That's why we have some of those heat advisories. Now, all of this heat actually did lead to storm energy yesterday, and we did have some scattered severe weather about the United States. We had 4 landspout tornadoes from portions of southeastern Utah, one up here into northwestern Iowa, another one down here into northern Florida, and even portions of the United States seeing a lot of those wind and hail reports as well. We do have a little bit of some strong storm activity potentially as we go through the afternoon and evening. One down here into the Phoenix region into central and southern Arizona, another one from portions of Colorado just south of Denver into northeastern New Mexico. We have the potential for some stronger storms. In the dark green, that is a level 1 out of 5 marginal risks. It's mainly driven by wind and hail. I think the tornado threat and landspout threat is actually pretty low today. So this afternoon, scattered pop-up storms, and we are in a summertime pattern here. These storms could pop up anywhere across the central and eastern U.S. with this trough present. More widespread down here into Texas, near the Gulf Coast and the Southeast Coast, but some of these could be up here into Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and even the upper Midwest could get in on some of those garden variety showers and storms heading into the evening. We lose the daytime heating, we lose the storm energy after the sun sets, so early Monday morning heading out to work or anything like that you have to do, we're probably going to be seeing more cloud cover, but the absence of showers and storms as well as we lose that daytime heating. So looking at the rainfall totals going through the rest of your Sunday, mainly seeing the heaviest rains across the Carolinas down here in toward the Gulf Coast vicinity, Texas, and then back toward New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona. Some precipitation across the north here from the Dakotas, Minnesota, into Wisconsin near the upper Midwest. Very dry across the west, very dry in the lower Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and up into the Northeast, and very dry in southern Canada as well through the rest of the weekend. Going into the new work week here, Monday, July 22nd through Friday, July 26th. That trough hangs out across the central and eastern two-thirds of the country, and that ridge hangs out across the west. So more of the same can be expected through the work week. Warmer temperatures out west, cooler temperatures in the central and eastern U.S. as we go through the work week here. Some of those temperatures into areas like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Canada, and even into Montana here in the U.S. could be 20, 25 degrees above normal, and even down here into Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, some of these areas could be up to 20 degrees below normal heading into the new work week. So let's identify some of those temperatures. Monday afternoon, your highs across the United States, wonderful 70s and 80s across the middle and eastern 2/3 of the country. Very hot temperatures, 90s, triple digits out west. Some of that heat starts to build a little further east toward the western plains as we go into the middle of the week. This is on Wednesday, July 24th. Still hanging on to those wonderful 70s and 80s, low humidity across the east. Then as we go into late week, Friday afternoon on July 26th, that heat begins to move eastward into the Great Plains from the Dakotas all the way south to Texas. That's where we could have those upper 80s to mid 90s start to roll in, and still again 70s and 80s across the eastern U.S. here as we go into Friday afternoon. And look at the Pacific Northwest. We start to get cooler as we go into the end of the week, back into the 60s and 70s we go there. Precipitation trends through the week, very dry across most of the lower 48 except for areas near the coast, so coastal Texas into the Dixie Valley region, southeast into the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, up there toward the Delmarva and the coastal New England regions. That's where the heaviest rainfall will be. And some of those areas could be 2 inches above normal for the week. So as we go into Monday, turning into tomorrow, scattered showers and storms, and there will be plenty of dry hours through the week. That continues into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday as well. And again, plenty of dry hours are promised, but it's mainly the afternoon and evening hours with the peak daytime heating that we'll start to see those showers and storms from coastal Texas all the way through Dixie Valley, the southeast, parts of the mid-Atlantic, and the New England coastline as we go into that time frame. Also, some very active weather up in southwestern Canada cannot be ruled out from British Columbia, parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan, western Manitoba. Some of those areas could get pretty wet up there as well through the work week. So here are your rainfall totals from Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, all the way through the Dixie Valley region and near the Gulf Coast. Florida in the mix as well, up here into the Carolinas, the mid-Atlantic coast, the New England coast, and the Northeast. Those areas could be seeing in the oranges and reds here 2 to as much as 4+ inches of rain. There could be an isolated spot or two picking up to 6 inches of rain through the work week here, and pretty dry again across the north and out west. Looking at the drought monitor that was released this past Thursday, we do need help with the rainfall and moisture across the east and the southeast. A lot of widespread, moderate, severe, and even extreme drought starting to become more prevalent across portions of the east here. That will be alleviated a little bit with the precipitation through the new work week. However, the Pacific Northwest remaining pretty dry through the week. The drought conditions are expected to expand and worsen a little bit. We probably will be seeing more of the moderate and severe drought categories expanding across the Pacific Northwest and maybe parts of the Pacific Southwest as we have drier weather through the end of this month. And looking here at the following week now, Monday, July 29th, getting toward the end of July through the opening stages of August through Friday, August 2nd, you can see we have that dominant ridge of high pressure across the Four Corners region. We have that northwest flow over the top we'll talk about in just a minute, but look at those temperature anomalies going into that following week and entering into early August, up to 20 degrees above normal in some of these areas again, from southern Canada into the Rockies and the Great Plains, and then cooler from Texas near the Gulf Coast and into the southeast there. But we have to watch the flow in the jet stream over the top of this ridge. We always talk about this. We have that northwest flow pattern and a lot of heat and instability starting to build across the middle of the country. That could lead to more storm activity near the Mississippi River and east, especially toward the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, down into the southeast, and some of this could work up toward the northeast and even southeastern Canada, places like Ontario and Quebec as well. And this could lead to another period of some active severe storms. Now, right now, there is a likely chance that I have in my severe weather forecast from July 29th through August 2nd, from parts of the upper Midwest down to the lower Midwest, parts of the Great Lakes there, the Ohio Valley, down into the Tennessee Valley, and parts of the Southeast, identified here in the orange. Now, we did, if you remember, highlight this area here, similar area, just a couple of weeks ago when we had a derecho move from Iowa into northern Illinois and northwest Indiana. Not to say we're going to have a derecho here, not a far gone conclusion at that point, but there is the potential, or at least the likelihood, at least a few areas within this orange area will likely see severe weather. Not everybody will likely see it, but there will be some that do see it during that period. Turning over to the tropical weather update here, the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to not have anything to talk about for the next 7 days for the Atlantic Basin, and one of those key factors is the Saharan dust from Africa moving across the tropical Atlantic, kind of shutting down any of those tropical waves that move across here. You can see the dust pretty prevalent across the MDR, the main development region, all the way over to the Caribbean and the Bahamas as we go through today. That continues into early on in the week there, and later in the week, another plume of dust heading toward the Windward Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic will likely start to keep the tropical waves at bay from really developing through the rest of July. However, turning into August and the rest of the hurricane season, we still have like 85 to 90% of the hurricane season to go, and that goes all the way through November and even sometimes early December. So we have a long ways to go, and climatology shows that number of named storms and hurricanes start to increase very quickly once we get into the second half, especially of August into September and October. And looking at the Climate Prediction Center, the experts put this graphic together over there, going through the first week in August, the tropical Atlantic into the main development region, the Caribbean, and into the tropical Bahamas area. We have to be watching out for some tropical cyclones trying to develop once some of this dust starts to settle and subside, and the eastern Pacific basin as well, just off the coast of Mexico and west of Central America, will likely start to get busy during that first week in August as well, and even likely beyond as climatology supports it. So the forecast breakdown, very quiet weather pattern continues through today. Enjoy the wonderful temperatures, open up those windows, go outdoors and enjoy the nice, wonderful weather out there. Very rainy across the Southeast United States this week. There will be plenty of dry hours, but there will be plenty of wet hours as well. So make sure to pack an umbrella if you do head outdoors, or have a radar app handy to know when showers and storms will be knocking on your doorstep. And then tropics to remain quiet through late in July. I think that changes though as we go into early August, as climatology again supports it. We'll keep an eye on that, and you'll get all the information right here on this channel. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Make sure to give the video a like by giving it a thumbs up. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on today. Thank you all for watching. My name is Hunter with Weather on the Go, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend out there.